Everyone, if you live in the Saucon Valley area or if you are looking to move into the school district or the general area, stick around and I want to go over the different zones of Saucon Valley School District. So if you're new to my videos, welcome. My name is John Cummings. I'm with Better Homes and Gardens Castedon Realty. My hope for this channel is to provide you some information to help you with any of your real estate needs. Whether it be financial information, market-specific information, or if you just want to know what it's like to live in a specific area, stick around and subscribe, and feel free to ask questions, reach out, and we'll figure it all out together. So today's topic, I want to go over the zones of Saucon Valley School District. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you probably already know that I live in Saucon Valley. I'm in the school district. My wife is a teacher at Saucon Valley School District. She was in high school and now is in middle school. And we generally really like the area. And if you want to learn more about what we specifically think of the area since we've been living here, after we decided to move, I'll put a link to our previous video in the description below, and you can check that out. As I was learning about the township and what was going on in the area, I learned that there's different zones within Saucon Valley School District, which I kind of would have guessed, but I would have never guessed that it was already laid out and kind of boundary specific. There's actually 11 zones within Saucon Valley School District, and this was broken down by Lower Saucon Township and Hellertown, along with Northampton County. They actually have a joint committee, and their sole purpose is to help drive the area forward in connection with the school district. So between Hellertown Borough, Lower Saucon Township, Northampton County, and Saucon Valley School District, this committee comes up with different plans and initiatives to help with the growing population and to help keep the area up to the standards that they see fit as far as how it's developing. And I didn't know that there was a committee that was designated towards this, but they have this whole comprehensive plan that's I believe started in 2009, and they just recently had an update in 2020. And I'll provide a link in the description below that you can go ahead and take a look at this comprehensive plan if you'd like. It is very detailed and it is very extensive. But if you're moving into the area, or if you're just in the area, and I would encourage you to definitely take a look at the plans that are being developed for this area, so you just can be informed about what's going on in your neighborhood. With that, I'd like to just go over some specific, just the zone overview that I've created, just based on what I've seen from the committee and basically the map of the zones. And really there's 4 categories that the committee kind of puts the area into, and that would be rural residential or open space. And really the committee has a big initiative on keeping open airspace and keeping it basically environmentally friendly, especially in specific areas that are part of preservation. And I would imagine that the committee is going to try and keep it that way for as long as they can, even with a growing population. Then we have residential, and I'm saying residential kind of loosely here because what I really mean by it is large plot residential, and this could be multiple acreages of land with one owner. This would also kind of be under the open airspace in that realm, but it's a little smaller of an area. It's not really a preservation, but it's just large plots of land with maybe one owner. Then we go to the medium and high density residential slash commercial applications. That's more the town center, the apartment complexes, and where most of the businesses are within the area. And then we have industrial. So there's not a whole lot of industrial within Saucon Valley School District. However, I will say that there is a lot of debate around what the townships are actually doing with the industrial right now. If you and I'll put in some description below about some of the discussion that's going on specifically with the landfill in the area. But with that, I want to share with you the map of Saucon, and I will share that with you in 1 second. So this is the current map, of the Saucon Valley School District. Everything, shaded is, what would be within the Saucon Valley School District. So, it's pretty straightforward here. You can, if you didn't know the area that well, it's, it's a lot bigger than I actually had thought. It goes all the way up to even 33. Takes a good chunk of Bethlehem as well. And goes all the way down, towards Bucks County there. So it's a fairly large area, but the zones, which I'll show you in a second, can be broken up as I have showed here. So there are 11 zones, and I'm going to start off with the more rural residential / open space areas, and then we'll work our way through each zone. So I'm going to start off in the Lehigh Bluff area. These are the names that are designated for each area. So the committees gave them these names, and this is what they're designating as. So Lehigh Bluff area, its main population and housing area is the Steel City and Reddington areas. And if you don't know the area, it's kind of distant from the town center and everything else within Saucon. I know most of the Lehigh Valley, know Steel City, and that's really where the main housing location is. It is in close proximity to the wastewater treatment facility and also the landfill. And I mentioned that the landfill before is under quite a bit of debate, because this is where most of the industrial designated area is, and it's mainly for the landfill. And what the committee has just basically enacted is an initiative to allow the landfill to expand to almost double its size. So I know that's affecting a lot of the individuals within Steel City and Reddington areas. Besides the housing and the industrial locations, it's a lot of wooded area right now, which again will likely be turned into land for the landfill at this point, if everything progresses forward. But there is a lot of undeveloped wooded space here right now. So then moving on to the Eastern Ridge. The Eastern Ridge contains the Woodland Preserve, which is a large chunk of this area, and it's the Woodland Preserve has trails for public use. There's large plots of land. Again, this is minimum is typically 1 acre. So most owners have a minimum of 1 acre of land here, and it's usually a lot larger than that. One thing about this area is Lower Saucon Road is really the main road in and out of here. If you like really quiet areas, this is a really good place for you, as long as you're okay with about a 15-minute drive to get to most places. There's a lot of flatlands here, and it's a little less wooded. So then moving over to Wassergrass. The Wassergrass is it's a more wooded area, but in general, it's most of the property consists of at least 1 acre, just like the Eastern Ridge. Again, this is more of a country type of feel. Definitely more land, less housing. Again, this would be under the realm of open air space, but there is quite a bit of residential here as well. I would consider this the main throughway of Saucon Valley to get in and out of the outskirts. So if you wanted to get from the Eastern Ridge or Lehigh Bluff or the Highlands, you're mainly going to be going through Wassergrass, through Apple Street, Lower Saucon Road, Easton Road, Wassergrass Road. This is kind of the main throughway to get in and out. Then we'll move to the Highlands. So the Highlands, I would consider this the most mountainous region of Saucon. I'm using the word mountain very loosely here, but it has one of the highest elevations, and this land consists of a preserved land called that's according to the Highlands Initiative, and this includes a significant amount of land in Northampton County and Bucks County, and it actually extends out to a lot of the northeastern states, New Jersey, Delaware. There's quite a bit of land involved with this, and this is to preserve a lot of the waterways in the region, and it's shown in the area as we have a lot of wooded areas, a lot of streams. It includes the reservoir collection area, and again, this also contains large plots of vacant land. So moving down towards the orchard. The orchard is, I would consider this more farmland mixed with wooded area. There's a lot of trucking goes through here. This is close and quick access to the town center via 412. You have your 412 connection with your 212 connection. There's a lot of trucking that goes through. So it's a major throughway for a lot of the transporters here coming in and out of Bethlehem, and then going towards more the outskirts of the Lehigh Valley. There are large lot single family residential as well, but I wouldn't consider this more of a farmland slash wooded area. And then we move on to Hellertown. So as I said, Hellertown and Lower Saucon Township are, this is an initiative that, they are doing together. It's hard to separate Hellertown and Lower Saucon Township, although, a lot of people do that. But, the school district itself, contains both. So Hellertown is basically the town center. There's a lot of economic activity. This is the main entranceway on and off of 78. So we have a lot of businesses here. We've got our main street. There's a lot of small businesses. There's a lot of medium and high density residential. There's our apartment complexes. There's a lot going on here. Good portions of walkable neighborhoods for sure. And it's divided into neighborhoods and multifamily developments. It's definitely the highest density of Saucon, as it is the town center, but there's easy access to get to most of the area and the rest of the Lehigh Valley. So the next, I'm going to combine two, as they're pretty similar and they're not as large as the others, but Leesville and Saucon Creek Valley, and this is actually the area where I live, and I'm right on the border of Saucon Creek Valley and Leesville. Actually, based on this map, I'm in Leesville, but right on the border there. But I think this area is what most people view as Saucon Valley. It's a mix of single family homes within small neighborhoods, and then you have your mix of very expansive homes along the Saucon Valley Country Club, and even a little bit off of the country club as well. And if you own one of those homes, I would love to just get a tour of them, because they're very beautiful, and everyone drives past them, and would love to get a peek inside. But these are close proximity, easy access to multiple trailhead locations. Actually, my wife and we like to take our sons running on the trail. It's we could run down to it and get on easy off. So that's pretty nice. We also have a lot of little neighborhoods in here, which is nice. It's close proximity and easy access to Bethlehem City Center, Coopersburg, and basically the rest of the Lehigh Valley, via 309 or 78. And it's mainly, I wouldn't call it large plot residential, but it's larger than I would consider in a in the city. A lot of people call this, a country feel in our neighborhood, but if you go to the other areas of Saucon, it's really not country, but it is nice. Then I'll move up to these last three sections, which again, I'm going to lump together as they're very close proximity wise, and they're very similar. This is probably if Hellertown has the highest density area and the higher amount of commerce, this is probably the second most dense and busiest area. And it's mainly because it's close proximity to 78 and 378. It includes a variety of local businesses, residential communities, and has easy access to the city of Bethlehem. It has easy access to the rest of the Lehigh Valley. It's definitely a busier part of Saucon due to the proximity of, due to the close proximity to the city of Bethlehem and Hellertown and 78. But it is, very easy to get in and out of. Lehigh University also takes up quite a bit of land here as well. I mean, you see one area is designated University Heights. Well, that is for a reason. Lehigh University takes up just about all of that area. So if you're in the area, you're probably going to see a lot of college students going in and out, and that's typically what the area is really known for there. So that is the map of Saucon Valley. So just in closing, everyone, those are the zones of Saucon Valley. I didn't know that there were that many zones. I didn't even know it was broken up into zones, but I thought it was really interesting to learn. If you live in one of these zones, or if you would like to, talk about them further, feel free to leave a question or comment below, and I'd love to be able to chat with you about it. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day.